This is a whole shoulder clod, and the shoulder clod consists of the top blade, which is where the flat irons come from, and the clod heart. To fabricate this, you can begin by trimming the clod free of any heavy fat depots. You can then separate the top blade and the clod heart following the seam of connective tissue which can be found in between them. Now let's start by focusing on the top blade. First, we'll remove the thick layer of connective tissue and bone felt that lies on top of it. Next, we can find the thick piece of connective tissue that runs right through the middle of the top blade, and then run our knife along this seam. Once the flat irons have been separated, you can finish removing any connective tissue and external fat. Keep in mind that the flat iron is the second most tender cut on the entire carcass and a favorite of many. To start, you can remove the small side muscle, which could be thrown into grinds or made into stew meat. You can then trim the clod heart by removing any extra muscles, fat, and connective tissue. Once trimmed, this whole piece could be roasted whole and is sometimes merchandised as a casino roast. The name is in reference to its popularity on carving stations as a part of a buffet. You can also break this down a little further, as there is another piece of connective tissue which runs along the middle of the roast. It is easiest to start at the top of the clod heart at a seam of silver skinned, and then follow that down until you have completely separated the lateral head. The lateral head is a smaller cut with muscle fibers running in two different directions. If used as a roast, it would be important to cut it in half parallel with the muscle fibers so that when slicing, it can be properly cut across the grain. You could also cut steaks out of these, however, there is a thin layer of connective tissue which may cause a bit of a chewier mouthfeel. The larger piece, which has a tremendous, fine, evenly distributed marbling scattered throughout the entire roast, could be tied and cooked as a roast, or can also be used to make pub or ranch steaks. Pub steaks are known for their rich beef flavor, but could benefit from a few extra days of age. To review, from a whole shoulder clod, we were able to produce flat irons from the top blade. We were also able to separate the clod heart and further fabricate it into steaks and/or roast, as well as some beef for stew. It is also important to note that because of the rich beefy flavor, the whole shoulder clod is commonly used as an excellent source for some of our certified Angus beef ground beef products.